Hi, I'm Sebastian Garcia from EULAR TV. I'm a consultant rheumatologist at La Princesa University Hospital in Madrid. And I have the pleasure to interview Professor Loreto Carmona, who also works in Madrid at the INMUSC. And we're about to talk about the comparative risk of cancer associated with first-line DMARDs in rheumatoid arthritis. And this is a real-world evidence coming from the Odyssey Network. So, thank you, Loreto, for being here with us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to share my work with you.
Well, the first question I would like to make is that I would like to know what was previously known in this topic.
Well, you know that we rheumatologists use these DMARDs for many years. And since the beginning, we had some concerns, but only about methotrexate, right? Like it could be associated with cancer. But we think it's pretty safe in the long term. The thing is that we have no idea what happens to the other DMARDs. We don't know whether hydroxychloroquine or sulfasalazine or leflunomide are also increasing or not the risk of cancer. So that's why we wanted to look at all of them and to see whether there were any differences in the risk.
I agree. And can you please give us a brief overview of the study?
Well, basically, it's an observational retrospective study where we used huge databases from different countries. These are databases used for some of our claim databases, other are national health system databases. And we selected cohorts within these databases. First, it was only rheumatoid arthritis patients and that had not had cancer before, okay? Because that was very important to start with, without any cancer. Then they had to be on the first DMARD, okay? That's also very important to put them at the same risk level. So we had the 4 cohorts, one with who started hydroxychloroquine, another one methotrexate, another one sulfasalazine, and the other one leflunomide. Mm-hmm. And then we ran the analysis in each one of the databases separately, okay? And then what we did was to merge the results. That's basically the study design.
All right. And all these cohorts were from Europe, from the UK and across Europe, or were there some cohorts from the US?
Yes. Well, actually, we tried to do the analysis in more than the databases that we actually got. So we have databases from Europe, like we have one from Spain, the CDAP. Then we have IQVIA from Germany. We have also from the UK, but we also have from the United States. We also tried in Japan. So we had to try in all of them and to make sure that the analysis ran well in all of them. So yeah, this is databases all over the world.
It was a multinational approach. Mm-hmm. And then I understand that there was a complete event behind these communications that we are actually reading now. But there was an important organization and some events surrounding all this, and also I would like you to comment about these gatherings that you have, and also about what is the Odyssey Network.
Well, it's one of the greatest experiences I have in research in my latest years. So Odyssey means observational health, data science, and informatics. And it's a collaborative network of freaks, basically. And it's researchers, and it's also people from the regulatory business, from pharmaceutical companies, data scientists, coders. So it's a very interesting crowd. And they are connected. They have open code for everything they do. And the particularity is that they have access to huge data set. So they put the code out, and then everybody can run it in their own data sets and check whether the assumptions and the cohorts are, you can actually run it in there. And this Odyssey Network, sometimes they do what is called study-a-thon. So it's like a marathon for a week. You plan a study. And you have to go through all the different steps, like you have to have the hypothesis, the design. You actually have to go through a quick ethic review board. You have to, how do you say, register your study in like a trials and a studies register, like in Europe, the EULAR or in the clinical trials GOP. And then once you said, okay, these are the analyses we're going to do, then you do them. So for a week, imagine these 50 people from all over the world. There were a few rheumatologists who were completely lost. Actually, yeah, it's true. So we had the answers, the questions, the answers, and they were checking, is this right? Does it make any sense? And they were, oh, yes, it does. I mean, oh my God, what is happening? So, I mean, yes, there were many studies coming out from that study-a-thon, and I think it's the greatest experience I've ever had.
Well, sounds like a very good experience. And also, I believe this is important for the years to come, and also for young rheumatologists. The fact is that in the same room there were a lot of people coming from different disciplines, and how they can collaborate, and we get these important results. But I believe this is important to communicate to all of our colleagues how you got there. I was stressing that thing. So it sounds like a very good experience. And I was curious about something. I must say I'm new on the world statistics, and can you comment us and elaborate a little bit about the calibrated hazard ratios that you obtain up there?
Yeah. Okay. So this is a little bit complex. So they do two type of quality control on the data. First, they have a propensity score. So they stratify the data by a propensity score that includes lots and lots and lots and lots of variables. When I say lots, 100 or more. I mean, imagine
we're talking about lots. All right.
Lots. Yeah. And then on the other hand, besides the propensity score stratification, then you get by quartiles. Then, quartiles. Then you get this calibration by what is called negative controls. So how do we do that? We run the same analysis, but in population that doesn't make any sense. For instance, cannabis abuse, or seborrhea, or passing flatus, whatever. So you look at what is the residual confounding in those models, and then you include it in your own model. So for me, it's very complicated to see how that works. But they say, is this a good negative control? Is this a good propensity score? Are these the rational covariates to include in the model? So they just throw and throw and throw thousands of variables in there, and then the doctors were saying, yeah, it makes sense, or it doesn't. And then they were looking at the mathematics and the different models, and when they say yes, it fits, then they will send out the models.
All right, so that's another very interesting approach that we for sure we'll have to learn about that in the years to come. And finally, can you please comment us about the results and what are the implications of your findings in clinical practice?
Well, the results were very interesting. One of the first things we learned was that actually there isn't much difference between the risk of cancer with hydroxychloroquine and methotrexate, or hydroxychloroquine and sulfasalazine. So it's like we expected hydroxychloroquine to be even safer on that side, and it was about the same. no clear differences. But then we saw that leflunomide, which has a very similar mechanism as methotrexate, actually decreases the risk. So there must be something about leflunomide. And then when we saw these results, we learned that actually leflunomide is being used in some cancers. So it was with our eyes pop. It's like, what's happening? And the rheumatologists don't know these facts. So it was. I think the results are very interesting. Are very, very interesting.
Yeah, indeed. Those results are quite interesting. And I must say, we are in our clinical practice, we're used to leflunomide. I believe I can know that it's not that common in other countries, but in here we use it a lot. So those results were very, very interesting. So before we end this interview, I would like to thank you, Loreto, for your time and for your very educative explanation of all my questions. And well, I believe we'll definitely we'll be seeing more Odyssey articles in the years to come.
Yes, in fact, they did a COVID analysis. So I think that's interesting for the people to look at the Odyssey and COVID and many other things. I think I'm a fan of Odyssey now.
Yeah, I noticed. and there were I'm aware that more than one article about COVID-19. So well, I also suggest our viewers to try and give those articles a look, because they're definitely worth a look. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of COVID sessions, and yes, it's worth to look at them.
All right. Well, thank you, Loreto.
You are welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching our interview with Professor Loreto Carmona. I'm Sebastian Rodriguez Garcia from EULAR TV. And don't forget to join us for the EULAR news each day of the e-Congress at 5:30 p.m. Central European Time. See you there.